I apologize to all my headphone users out there if you just got your fucking ears raped. But let me... I'm gonna have Carlos Ulberg's cousins were in my comments all fucking week chirping me saying, oh, what kind of fights have you been in? You know what I was telling them? I've knocked out guys bigger than Carlos Ulberg. Here he's gonna put this fucking guy out. I've never knocked out anyone. Fuck. This is literally the reverse Joshua Van versus Pantoja. This is worse than Charles Brazilian. Charles is my favorite fighter, but at least I expected Charles to get knocked the fuck out. What the fuck was that? Jiri Prochazka had the belt handed to him on a silver platter. He fucking had him. Carlos Ulberg hurts his knee, and I'll give credit to Carlos Ulberg later on, but I want to fucking start with Jiri. He has it on a fucking platter. You know, Carlos is chopping the fucking calf kicks early. Ulberg kind of trips or like missteps, hurts his knee clearly. I think he probably tore MCL, ACL, something like that. And Jiri chops like one low kick, but then he's kind of got Ulberg backed up against the cage and is just like pointing down, trying to say like, stand and bang with me. I'm not going to attack your leg. Why the fuck would you not attack his leg when it's right there? You had the win. Carlos Ulberg was giving you the win. And you know what? Yuri's like, I want to be samurai and be honorable. I don't want to be dishonorable. A samurai doesn't finish somebody who is hurt. What the fuck? A samurai, you know what he does? He fucking kills. Fuck your bullshit code from that stupid Bushido fucking Art of the Five Rings Hobbit book, whatever the fuck you wear, and finish this guy. You had him. Just chop the leg kicks, pressure him, get in his face. Instead, he fucking resorts to trying to keep the fight standing, not chopping the calf kick, and gets caught by one left hook. And all week, you know, you hear about the Carlos Ulberg left hook, right? And, you know, obviously Alex Pereira has caught so many people with that. We've seen him catch Jiri with that before, but you're like, Alex Pereira is Alex Pereira. He's a different beast. Fuck, I just met Joe Rogan. He's a different animal, that guy. How did he make 185? Carlos Ulberg, you know, obviously has a great check left hook. That's one of his biggest strengths. I'm like, even if Jiri gets hit by one, he should be able to absorb it. He gets fucking clipped right in the nose. Credit to who was the fucking ref? Goddard, Keith Peterson, Herb Dean, whoever the fuck it was. They let Jiri go, try and survive for as long as possible. Ulberg finishes him. And I legitimately stared at my TV and didn't say a word for a couple minutes, because that was one of the most stunning things I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he was supposed, and now Carlos Ulberg's going to be out for minimum 10 months, I would say. He's going to be out for a while. You're going to have to fucking do an interim. Jiri Prochazka just fucked the timeline. You had the belt handed to yourself on a silver platter. Carlos Ulberg, freak knee injury. Jiri, all you got to do is attack that leg. Shit, work a takedown and do something to keep him moving around and fully compromise that leg. Instead, you're fucking resorting to standing and banging for some reason because you want to be fucking honorable. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. You had the belt. And then he's in the post-fight interview after, like, borderline tears. I did feel bad for the guy because he's trying to live by this bullshit ass code, but that's about as easy as it's gonna get. And it's not to disrespect Carlos Ulberg because he is very talented. I know I've shit on him a lot on Instagram, but I did make a full breakdown in here, talk about things he could do well, like the calf kicks, like his distance management, like his jab, like his check left hook. He does things very elite, but I was like, Jiri Prochazka has not been defeated by anybody else in the UFC except fucking Alex Pereira. So I was like, and we've seen Jiri get hit so many times and be so defensively irresponsible. It never matters. He just shakes it off. All it took was one fucking clean check left hook, and it was fucking over. I've never been this stunned before. And I know I've said I'm at a loss for words. I'm not really, because I've been fucking yelling at the recording for 4 or 5 minutes, and this video is going to be all over the place because this card was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but my mind is broken. You know what's something, Jiri? Was it necessary to walk straight into Carlos Ulberg's punches and not try and kick his leg or do anything else to fully compromise that leg anymore? Was that necessary? Let's go for let's go for that. Let's walk straight into a check left hook. Let's go for that. What the fuck? Fucking, I got people all over asking me for locks for this card. I'm like, Jiri Prochazka, this guy's a lock. Nobody beats this guy except Alex Pereira. My uncle's like, I'm putting 5K on this. It's fucking over. And I don't want to make this an anti-Carlos Ulberg thing because I don't like Carlos Ulberg. I don't really think him winning is good for the division. Now he's hurt, so it's clearly not fucking good for the division. I don't even know what the fuck light heavyweight's going to look like now. There's a chance you get like a fucking Ankalaev Costa interim belt, or Khalil Roundtree snakes his way in there. Like, I don't even know what the fuck's the sucks for Jiri, and I gotta make a next matchup video. Fuck! This video is gonna be me just having a mental breakdown. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I can even say about this fight? I have, oh my god. There's nothing else to say. Jiri had it on a silver platter, decided not to take advantage of Carlos Ulberg, who was clearly compromised, tried to stay on and, you know, fucking die on his shield, just being like, I'm going to live honorably, I'm going to point to the ground, little Holloway status, and make Carlos Ulberg throw with me. And that's what fucking caught him. He held his guard down, and Carlos Ulberg, credit to him, he said it all week, all it takes is one good shot, he did it. Credit to Carlos Ulberg. I'll give him claps for that. I know maybe I get comments on here clowning me. Maybe this is my big break. I have no fucking clue. But I do want to give credit to Carlos Ulberg. Damn it. We just entirely overrated Jiri Prochazka. And Ulberg knocked him out. Now, I'm not even going to be like, oh, what's next for Carlos Ulberg? He's out for fucking 10 months. I'm just fucking stunned. Whatever. Let's get on to the rest of this card, because it was pretty good. Like, Prochazka versus Prochazka, I got like 50 per 50. I think I did 7 for 12 on picks this card. Prochazka, listen, we talked all week. Costa, really good against southpaws. We saw him beat up Kopylov pretty bad. We knew he had nice body kicks, and that was really the difference. I thought Prochazka, I'll give credit to him. You know, he ate so many kicks to the body, was trying to block him with his arm. Obviously, that kind of led to the demise and the finish in the third round. But, like, even then, he still kept on the gas, was very twitchy, was trying to land shit on Costa. I thought did a nice job tracking him around the cage. Was very reactive to the body kicks. And was also, Paulo Costa, I thought it did a great job with the inside leg kicks in this one. Dropped Prochazka or stumbled him a couple times with those. Round 2, I thought, you know, Prochazka did a nice job, continuing to stay on the gas, just landing a lot of, like, ripping shots to the body, landing jabs to the body, trying to slow him down. There was a point where I thought he really could have finished Paulo Costa, I believe, in that second round, and had him rocked and just, like, engage in the clinch, had, like, a nice throw. But he took that round, so it was 1-1. But I think deep down you knew Prochazka was probably on the side of losing, because the body kicks were just so useful for Paulo Costa. He looked great. I mean, I'm kind of interested to see what he looks like at 205. Obviously, 205 fucking sucks. I would just shut the division down now, because nothing's going to happen. But, Paulo Costa was just firing head kicks, firing body kicks, just seeing whatever could land, knees, and the body kicks were just heavy. It ended up breaking Osman Prochazka. He just quit. All the credit to Paulo Costa. I can't really hate on him too much for winning. I didn't pick him, but it was a good win for Paulo Costa. Prochazka, tough loss. You know, we all kind of built you up in this division. I still think he's good. He showed good resilience to a degree. Paulo Costa, I just think his strengths really showed against Prochazka. So credit to him. It's really a shame, because really this is the real shame, because Curtis Blaydes versus Josh Hogan, this was, and dare I say, one of the best fights I've ever seen. And technically it was garbage. I mean, like, in terms of a technical sense of the fight, in terms of cleanness, this fight fucking sucked. But let me tell you, entertainment value, and especially for heavyweights, where you see these heavyweight fights where it's like either they do nothing, they like blob on each other, or one of them just knocks them out really early, and you're like, oh, that's a cool knockout. To see this much output from a heavyweight fight is insane. Josh Hogan's getting in Curtis Blaydes' face immediately. These two dudes, and I have a bunch of notes here, but this was essentially the fight. These two dudes just kept stunning each other. Curtis Blaydes' face looks like it got hit in by a fucking baseball bat for the entire fight. You know, they kind of gassed each other out in the first round, because the pace was just insane. You had Josh Hogan keep throwing up middle fingers. Curtis Blaydes nearly kind of finished him in that first round, had him up against the fence, was teeing off on him. Josh Hogan's mouth guard like flew out at the end of the first round. And Curtis Blaydes, I thought he kind of had the takedowns working early in the first round, which saved him because he didn't nearly get finished. I thought that was the closest to the fight ever ending, was when Josh Hogan really rocked Curtis Blaydes in the first. But Curtis Blaydes' entries on his takedowns after the first round were just absolutely fucking terrible. I mean, they were so sloppy. And Josh Hogan, just credit to Josh Hogan, because when you thought he was going to start fading, and even Curtis Blaydes to a degree, when you thought one of these dudes would start fading, they would like land a jab or land a right hand, and they would just be right back into the fight. They just kept wobbling. And I'll say this about Josh Hogan, because, you know, if he was like 6'4", and, you know, was a little bit bigger, he would have put Curtis Blaydes out badly. The fact that he's a pretty small heavyweight, like he's like a super middleweight essentially, and was just standing in there and eating those shots from Curtis Blaydes. And to a degree, Curtis Blaydes, and that's my guy, you know, he's a dude who's commented on some of my Instagram videos before, liked them. Curtis Blaydes' hands are not great, not in terms of like he can't hit you with a jab or rock you. He doesn't really have that finishing potential in his hands. And I just figured Josh Hockett just couldn't withstand a legit top 5 heavyweight. Credit to him. You could shit on Josh Hockett all you want, and I kind of shit on him a little bit, but just for being like, he's kind of a dick, and I think some of the shit he does is corny. But he stepped up, beat a top 5 guy in a really impressive performance. It was messy. I don't think Josh Hockett's ever winning the belt, but he's a good enough athlete, has a good chin, can wrestle, like his striking sloppy. But what are the numbers on the total strikes here? It says fucking, who knows what that is? That's a glitch. But they didn't land 12. They landed about 1,600 each. But I don't think he's going to be champion. But this guy's fucking good. I mean, the new age of heavyweight, they just signed Gable Stevenson, and Josh Hokett's also going to be taking on Derek Lewis at the White House. He's going to kill Derek Lewis. I have no doubts about that. That fight's not going to be fucking close. I'm just telling you how it is. That he's going to kill Derek Lewis. It's going to be so bad. He's going to run through Derek Lewis, fucking like knife through butter. He's going to just fucking kill him. And I can't believe that's a real fight. But I'll say this. I'm actually pro that fight happening, just because I felt like we kind of needed another, at least decent fight in the White House card. That'll be fun. Either Derek Lewis flukes another dude, which I don't think he will. I think Josh Hokett's proven that he's at least semi-legit, or Josh Hockett just runs through Derek Blaze. Either way, America wins. I'll tell you that. But great fight. One of the classics. I wanted Curtis Blades to win. Obviously, I picked him. But Josh Hockett, credit to him. He wins. I was also interested with Josh Hockett. I was talking to one of my boys about this. I was like, if he gets into a real like backyard brawl where he's taking a lot of damage and he has this 3-round war, is he gonna cut a promo? Like, is he even gonna fucking remember his lines? He fucking remembered his lines. He had like a whole thing. He said Shamadi's nuts. That was kind of funny towards a shot at Alex Pereira. But great fight. I can't really say that much about it. It's kind of a shame. This fight, I'll always remember this card for the Jiri, the collapse, whatever the fuck that was, whatever happened there. But just Josh Hockett, great way. I just thought of Jiri and nearly fucking collapsed. Let's get through the rest of this card. If you don't like Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker, then you don't like the UFC, man. This was one of the worst fights I've ever seen. Just two dudes throwing calf kicks at each other. I thought the one thing that pissed me off so much about this fight was Joe Rogan, DC. They were overrating the Johnny Walker calf kick so much. They were acting like Dominic Reyes couldn't fucking walk. I thought Dominic Reyes was fine. The reason, and I don't think this was that controversial. I thought Dominic Reyes won this fight like semi-clearly because he actually landed like good straight lefts and blitzed in on Johnny Walker like in the first round. Johnny Walker, I don't even remember this dude landing a punch. I just remember kicks. And Dominic Reyes, he threw a couple spinning back kicks in there. He developed a spinning back kick at 36, man. A weird fight, a lot of just chopping calf kicks, a lot of fucking nothing. The fact that we were all saying this was going to be a double knockout, and it was probably one of the worst fights you'll ever see, is insane. And listen, if Dominic Reyes went out here and knocked out Johnny Walker, I'd be pushing the Dominic Reyes for the interim title. You know, like one of these dudes need to make a statement if they want to be serious about fighting for the belt in the next 2 years or something. And if I'm being honest, neither one of these dudes are ever fighting for the belt. They both are not fucking good. Dominic Reyes, any hope that I had of this guy going on like a Glover Teixeira kind of run fucking died. I mean, he looked like shit. To be fair, this was like Dominic Reyes' whole game is waiting for dudes to kind of come out here and counter punching and fighting off the back foot. Johnny Walker just wasn't pressuring really at all. He wasn't really advancing a ton. These guys were both kind of scared of each other. So, and people were booing, rightfully so. This fight fucking sucked. It was terrible. Cub Swanson, and this of all the picks on this card, and I don't know why I picked Nate Landwehr. I think I picked Nate Landwehr because I was like, oh, he's got better cardio. He's younger. Cub Swanson just old as shit. Even though he looked good in his last fight, I just was like, how good is a 41 or 42-year-old really going to look? Nate Landwehr looked like shit. I don't think I could reiterate this enough. He looked fucking terrible. That was embarrassing from Nate Landwehr. Fucking awful. And credit to Cub Swanson, vintage Cub Swanson. He looked so sharp out there. Great finish for him. Nate Landwehr didn't even look like he belonged in the same octagon for Cub Swanson. Just Cub immediately. Nate Landwehr couldn't get his back up off the fence. Cub dropped him, had Nate stumbling around like a fucking idiot, and I think he put him down with the right hand, and he got a nice video package. You know, man, this guy beat Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, Doohoo Choi, man. This guy is a fucking marauder. But last WEC legend, last of the dying breed, guy's been in fucking the UFC for like 20 years. I can't say enough nice things about Cub Swanson. One of the legends of the game. I should have fucking picked him. I tried to get cute and pick Nate Landwehr. That was stupid for me. The only dude who can't seem to win retirement fights is fucking Anthony Smith, but at least he came back and won a bare knuckle one. Like Chiesa fucking won. Michael Chiesa, and I've mentioned this before, Michael Chiesa getting a video package opens up the floodgates for, and Anthony Smith, but at least Anthony Smith fought for a belt, opens up the floodgates for literally anybody. Like if Pitbull retires soon, Pitbull should get a fucking, Pitbull should get a, he should get a video package. But a Pitbull versus Pico, listen, great bounce back for Aaron Pico. Pitbull I thought looked pretty sharp early on, really working the jab well. I thought Pico kind of took a little bit to work into this fight. Pitbull was doing a nice job, you know, calf kicks, showed nice takedown defense. I don't know if these stats they're not accurate, but I think Pitbull, he defended some takedowns pretty well, others not. You know, Pico can wrestle. I think Aaron Pico had a nice level change in that round and didn't really do anything with it. Pitbull was Pitbull's got a great chin, man. He was eating combos from Pico all night. I thought Pitbull kind of edged that one out, even though pretty much from the second half of that round on, Pico dominated this fight. He was landing really nice calf kicks, stunned him a couple times. I think he dropped him in the second round, mixed in some nice double legs, some beautiful level changes, landed a lot more cleanly starting in that second round, just kind of getting in a rhythm. Also had a nice double leg where he actually landed some ground and pound and had a little bit of control time. And in the third round, he kind of entered Aaron Pico flow state. Was looking really sharp, mixing up shots to the liver. He just looked great. I mean, just a good performance from Aaron. I'm almost forgetting what even fucking happened in this fight, but great performance from Aaron Pico. Boxing's really slick, can wrestle, doesn't have any jiu-jitsu or really any control of the game. I'll say this about Aaron Pico. This was a encouraging sign for him because Pitbull is crafty. I mean, you know, went 3 rounds with Yair, beat Dan Ige. Like, even though he's old, he's still durable. Like, prime Pitbull would have beat Aaron Pico, but, you know, he's not prime Pitbull anymore. And I also saw this. This is Aaron Pico's best win of his career. Like, legitimately, is a 40-year-old Patricio Pitbull. He's beat nobody before this. So, good win for him. Interested to see what's next for him. I mean, you know, he's in the top 15 now. It's like, you probably want to build him up, but it's like, how many safe guys are ahead of it? Like, I don't even know where Josh Emmett's ranked. Would you give him a Josh Emmett? Like, are you going to just try and keep feeding this guy wins? Because once you start getting in that top 8 range, a lot of them are matched up. And I think a lot of them could beat Aaron Pico, but chin held up for the most part. You know, ate a couple nice jabs from Pitbull. I thought this was one of Pitbull's more high output fights, and he literally didn't do shit. So, good win for Pico. I'll say that. Good win for Aaron Pico. Let's keep going through the prelims. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. This was sloppy. Randy Brown didn't even really want to look like he really wanted to be there, like after the second round. Kevin Holland put a welt on Randy Brown's calf within like 2 rounds. It was pretty brutal. Randy Brown was probably winning that first round. Then he slips. Kevin Holland's up on top, is landing nice elbows and shit. Had a nice slam. And I think Kevin Holland took that round. Then round 2 rolls around, and Randy Brown was just putting himself into fucking Darce chokes. He was putting himself into these front headlocks to get taken down. And Kevin Holland nearly finished him with a Darce. Randy Brown did a nice job kind of using his length to get out of that one. It was pretty wild. But Randy Brown fought like an idiot. I think he put himself into like another guillotine in that second round. Kevin Holland was up like 2-0 at this point. This was just like 2 unks fighting at the fucking cookout. At the barbecue. At the fucking cookout. I might just be too white to fucking say it. Fuck me. Good win for Kevin Holland. The third round was really nothing. They were just holding each other up against the cage. Kevin Holland was gesture maxing and talking to the booth or Donald Trump, whoever the fuck was there. So a good win for Kevin Holland, I guess. Doesn't really show me that much, but he was due. He was due to win. He's never lost 3 in a row. So Gamrot, I actually wanted to make this a point. Gamrot did to Esteban. If you picked Esteban Rijovic, and listen, I had my fair share of dumb picks on this card. I fucking picked Cub Swanson to lose. I don't really regret the Mirzakhanov Paul Costa. Somebody might be like, you're fucking stupid because you picked Jiri to beat Ulberg. This was the, if you picked Esteban Rijovic, do you have any ball knowledge? Because, listen, I just fucking think about all the people that just picked fucking Ulberg that I fucking hate online. But if you picked Esteban Rijovic, you're legitimately fucking stupid because Gamrot, this is what he does. This is what he does to top 10 prospects. He just wrestle fucks them. You can't really do anything. His boxing is underrated. He's pretty hard to hit for the most part. Like, man, fucking how good is Beneil Dariush? Watch Dariush beat the shit out of Gamrot. Not a lot of people did that to him, other than Charles. And even Charles, like, Charles just kind of outclassed him. Like, Dariush legitimately beat the shit out of Gamrot for 3 rounds. But how good is Charles Oliveira also, and how good is Beneil Dariush? But Gamrot just wrestle-fucked Esteban Rivix for 3 rounds, kind of showed you really everything you needed to read, everything you needed to see. And also, I thought he showed better jiu-jitsu in this fight. Gamrot's never really had a ton of like, he's never been this control grappler. He's kind of just, he'll spam a ton of takedowns on you. Esteban Rivix, I thought initially did a good job stuffing kind of these initial attempts at takedowns, and then would just get taken down. And Gamrot, like, unlike a lot of the dudes you'll see in the UFC, who are kind of trying to go in on double legs, he just goes in on these single legs. It's beautiful. But I thought he showed a lot better jiu-jitsu in this fight, was just doing a lot better with top control, just holding Esteban Rivix down, because he's not a control wrestler, or really a guy who's going to get submissions. Second round comes around, he lands another takedown, like sitting inside control, and gets a really nasty arm triangle in there and makes him tap. And I thought it was ridiculous. I should have let off with this about Gamrot. I thought it was ridiculous that he even had to take this fight, because this isn't the first time he's had to fight some kind of up-and-coming prospect. He did this to Ludovit Klein over the summer last year, and he fucking destroyed him, and Ludovit Klein's better than Esteban Rivix. And, he fights Charles on short notice, saves the card, saves the main event, gets slimed out. All right, so now you're like, we should give Gamrot like a matchup in the top 10, give him a legit name, because beating Esteban Rivix does nothing for Gamrot's legacy. It's just like, oh, well, that's what Gamrot does. He looks like a world beater against these prospects who definitely aren't good enough, and destroyed him. He called out Diego Lopez. I don't know if Diego Lopez is moving up to lightweight after the Garcia fight, but he deserves a legit name, because he's a guy who people are just scared to fight. The UFC doesn't want Gamrot. UFC don't want Gamrot in the top 5, but he legitimately needs an actual name to fight. All the credit to him. Big win for Gamrot. I love Gamrot. He might not be the most exciting, but I respect him as a fighter. Rivix, this was too big of a jump. It makes you worried, though. I'll say this, for Salkill to beat Dariush, because it's like, oh shit, some of these unks, like we saw Moicano slime out Duncan last week. Could Salkill get slimed out by Dariush? I have the most faith in him out of all of these prospects, because I think Dariush is just, he's completely done. At least Moicano and Gamrot, you've seen like good performances from recently, or just good moments. Dariush, even though he beat Moicano, somebody will say that. I was like, Moicano fucking sucks. Whatever. I might have just contradicted myself there, but good win for Gamrot. Tatiana Suarez, Lupi Gordinez dropped her early, then Tatiana Suarez just smudged her, got a submission. Credit to Tatiana Suarez. I think back-to-back weeks that we've had women's fights end in finishes, so I can't really complain much. She really looked like prime Patchy Mix in Bellator. I was saying she was going to put on a Patchy Mix-esque performance, and she pulled it out. Good win for Tatiana Suarez. This is fucking glitched out. As for Chris Padilla, he should legitimately go to the commission and fight this one. That was ridiculous. This wasn't a draw, in my opinion. I thought he won this. Now, it was close. This was a really fun fight. I feel like Padilla, he's just so, again, he's the jack of all trades, can do a little bit of everything. Couldn't really land his takedowns in this fight. Neither one of him or Medeiros could. But again, just classic Muay Thai. He had a pretty bad cut above his eye, because Medeiros, I thought, did a great job countering any punches Padilla threw up against the fence with elbows, and that was why this fight was really close. But I thought Padilla just, he landed more strikes, looked better, doesn't really give Medeiros much room to breathe. Credit to Medeiros, because he's like, fuck, I can't really set anything up, so let me just throw step-in elbows, and if he gets me to the back of the fence, I'm just going to counter him with elbows. I thought that was a good move by him. But good win for, actually, fucking... not a good win for anybody, because Padilla didn't win this one. And then there was the eye poke. The eye poke, I thought, solidified it for Padilla. Good fight. I don't know. I don't really have fucking energy to say anything. This will be the last bit of energy I give you. Kelvin Gastelum, you fucking suck. Vicente Luque, you get dropped by Vicente Luque, right? Which is already bad enough, because I thought KG looked pretty solid early on. He's got Luque kind of backing up against the fence. He's kind of moving pretty fast. Gastelum got in a double leg. Luque stuffs it. And Luque just catches this guy. I think it was with a right hand. And Kelvin Gastelum just lets this guy set up an anaconda choke. And Vicente Luque's entire career has been made off of either he's going to finish you on the feet or he'll get you to the ground and he's going to get you with his iconic anaconda choke. He made him tap. Maybe Vicente Luque is like decent at middleweight. I still don't think so. I still don't think his chin's And maybe it's better. I still don't think it's good. He didn't really move that great. But I guess actually a decent win over Kelvin Gastelum, like, dare I say. Because, like, Kelvin Gastelum, I still think is, like, fairly athletic. Like, Prime Luque would have fucking... well, he got it done in round 1, so how much earlier is Prime Luque doing Kelvin Gastelum? But Kelvin Gastelum made Vicente look like Prime Luque. And Charles Radke, really good wrestling performance over Francisco Prado, who just really... It has just not been easy for Prado in the UFC. I think that's 4 straight losses. He's never gotten finished, and he nearly fluked the guillotine on Charles Radke. There was an eye poke in this one. Now, I liked how Mark Goddard and Keith Peterson handled the eye pokes throughout this card. They took points away. Yeah, they did. I'm happy that we saw that from the judging. And good one for Charles Radke. Did a great job with his double legs, with the singles, with control, and was better in the pot. I thought was just a little bit more cleaner of a striker. Good win for him. Again, nothing else really. And this was a great card other than this. I just can't believe that fucking happened. I just can't believe. I hope a lot of people watch this because the beginning of that rant in the beginning was pretty fucking funny. But I'm heartbroken. Jiri Prochazka, one of my favorite fighters of all time. I talk a lot of shit about Carlos Ulberg, kind of being like all his fights are boring and shit. And he fucking nuked him out. And everybody's trolling me and... whatever, I also, wait, I just want to say this, actually. I'm going to end the video off with this. 102 subscribers now on the channel. I want to thank people for subscribing to the channel. Keep following me over on Instagram and TikTok, because we're not stopping this. Nothing's stopping. Whatever. Thank you all for watching.